Now, more of Illinois Rising, presented by the Illinois Opportunity Project, the only show directly addressing the problems and solutions for Illinois. Now, from AM 560, here's Dan Proft.
Dan and Pat back on this edition of Rising and doing our regional updates on property taxes in Chicago Metro. Kane County this week. This is KaneCountyReporter.com, one of the papers that I'm a principal of, looking at home sales from January through June of this year, given a kind of a status update on property taxation and what it's doing to families and their investments in this state. The Donapudi family in West Dundee bought a home in 2004 for $474,000. That's $632 in constant 2018 dollars. They sold it just this past July 25th for $331. $632 to $331 in real dollars. During that 14 years they owned it, the property tax bill had risen by 67% from $7,300 to $12,200. So the property tax bill at the date of sale was 3.7% of the sale price the Donapudis got for their home, nearly 4 times the national average. Oh, by the way, the kicker, during those 14 years they paid $150,000 in property taxes. So they lost $300,000 in real value on the home, while also paying $150,000 in property taxes during that time. And this is a story that repeats itself throughout Kane County, where you've got the communities that have an effective tax rate of more than 3% of home value, which again, more than 3 times the national average, more than 3 times what it is next door to our east in Indiana. Maple Park, West Dundee, Algonquin, Sugar Grove, some of the bigger communities in Kane County. And then just below that, Pingree Grove, Sleepy Hollow, Gilbert's, Elburn, just below 3%. It's a story we've been telling. You try and put some real families to it so you understand just how vicious this is to destroy the production of a family like the Donapudis over the course of 14 years. I mean, that is a hammering that they took.
Yeah, so earlier, former Representative Kay talked about how people are, ostensibly, they're renting, right?
Yeah.
But these people aren't renting, Dan. They could have rented the penthouse on Lakeshore Drive for 14 years, lived there, and come out in the exact same circumstance, right? This is an unbelievable transfer of wealth from these people that will never... Look, if you're buying a house for $450,000 and over 14 years you lose $450,000, you've lost everything, right? You're just not in the position to lose that kind of money. These people's pursuit of the American dream, I presume they're very hardworking people to be able to have sustained paying the taxes and everything else that went into it.
Professional people. I mean, the husband was a wireless software engineer at Motorola.
Exactly. Right. So their American dream died in West Dundee. It just died there, right? And it's all so that we can finance someone else's life in Beverly or God knows where, who's living in their house, paying their smaller property taxes with their giant pensions. This is taking money from somebody and transferring it to somebody else, and that's all it is.
Or even in Kane County. This story from Illinois Policy. Kane County Water Reclamation District employee, retiree now, Albin Pogorski, retired 20 years ago in 1998 at the age of 58. The Water Reclamation District, the Fox River one out there in Kane County, serves about 180,000 residents. So to date, over 20 years, he's received $3.5 million in pension payments. He put in $93,000 during his 40 years of work for the Water Reclamation District. His current annual pension is $211,000.
He makes $211,000, Dan, to not work.
After contributing $93,000 to the fund, $3.5 million over 20 years, $93,000 in, $3.5 million out, $211,000 a year. You start to understand why the Donapudis had their home liquidated on them. This, I mean, where the money went, at least you understand. And this is not. This is the highest in Cook County, but in Kane County, excuse me. But there are another half a dozen or so that have collected 7 figures guaranteed since they've retired at a relatively young age for most people, 58 years old. And we're pointing out Alvin Pogorski because of the math here is just unbelievable. It's just so wrong. It's morally wrong. I'm not holding him up personally. This is the system that was set up. He held up his end, and this is the benefits that he generated. But it's a system that is not sustainable. So this is one example. The Donapudi is one example of what's happening. Now see if people can connect the dots to Alvin Pogorski and this system that provides this benefit level. It's not just the short funding of pensions or some skip payments. It's benefit levels that are conferred that are not financeable, not even close. That's what people need to understand.
Yeah, and the moral problem along with it is in the process of the Alvin Pogorskis, these other people's lives are destroyed, completely destroyed.